So back in October of 2020, Apple held their annual launch event and announced the iPhone 12 series. This lineup would consist of the iPhone 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max and the brand new edition, the iPhone 12 mini. These phones would come with some welcome upgrades over the iPhone 11 range, which includes OLED screens on all models, a redesign reminiscent of the iPhone 4 released a decade earlier, and a more powerful and power efficient chip. So here I'm going to share my thoughts on owning an iPhone 12 and would I recommend it as an upgrade over the iPhone 11. So I'm just going to start by saying that I'm a nightmare when it comes to iOS and Android. When I have an iPhone, I want an Android, and when I have an Android, I want an iPhone. So I guess it's good now that I have a range of phones in my collection to choose from. And in typical Tech Talk fashion, I'm going to be doing a fake unboxing because, like I say, I've been using this now, but I like the whole unboxing experience. So let's just lift the lid. So when you open the box, you're greeted with the iPhone straight away. So I've got the blue model. Let me just get rid of that. So in the box, very controversial, there is no wall adapter. So you just get your USB-C to Lightning cable and your pouch with your Apple stickers and your SIM tray inside. So let's just pop that to the side. So here is my iPhone 12 in the blue colour. So let's talk about design. The iPhone 12 has the same aluminium frame as the iPhone 11, sandwiched between two pieces of glass, except this time they flattened the edges to give it a more iPhone 4-ish look. The screen incorporates something that Apple is calling Ceramic Shield, which is said to offer 4 times more drop protection compared to last year. Going by size, if we compare the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 11 model, which obviously unfortunately I don't have one, but the iPhone 12 is shorter, narrower and slimmer than the iPhone 11, despite having the same 6.1 inch display. Apple have also managed to make the iPhone 12 30 grams lighter than the 11, but the majority of this will have to do with the smaller battery that they put inside the 12, but I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. So as I said before, the entire iPhone 12 lineup comes with a Super Retina XDR OLED display instead of it just being restricted to the Pro models last year. To me, this is a very welcome upgrade, as that was something that was not taken well by everybody. How the iPhone 11 and even the iPhone XR before it cost around £700 and had a screen that was only just higher than 720p. So sporting screens with 460 pixels per inch is really nice to have. Now, if I flip the phone over onto the cameras, the iPhone 12 again comes with dual cameras featuring a 12 megapixel main camera at f1.6 and a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens at f2.4 with a 120 degree field of view. Apple have been using 12 megapixel sensors since the 2015 iPhone 6s, but improving the sensors and image processing with each chip upgrade. Photos come out really nice with plenty of detail and true to life colour, with no over processing or enhancing colours to unrealistic levels that you'll find on cheaper Chinese phones that tend to over saturate the colours. Portrait shots are fantastic, with excellent subject separation, and being able to adjust the level of blur is a nice feature as well, although this is also found on a lot of other phones, including cheaper models. The front-facing 12 megapixel camera also produces very natural and detailed shots, so zero complaints here, and Face ID just works as fast as it always has. As has been the case for many years, Apple is still king of video on a smartphone, so much so that some of my videos and all of my intro clips on my channel are taken using my iPhone 12, so that just shows how good the video is on these phones. Another addition to the iPhone 12 lineup is the introduction of 5G. Although 5G has been present on Android phones for some time now, it's nice to have this addition to the iPhone 12 lineup. But to me, I mean, regardless of who did it first, 5G isn't widespread enough for me to be bothered about who had it first or who even has it on their phones at the moment. Now that brings me on to the battery, where there was a bit of controversy when the iPhone 12 first dropped. See, iPhones don't have large batteries anyway, just because the optimization of iOS is so good, they've not needed it. So when Apple stuffed a 2815 mAh battery inside the iPhone 12, down from the 3110 cell inside the iPhone 11, questions were obviously raised as to the battery life of the new phones. As we all know, the iPhone 11 had stellar battery life, so with the iPhone 12 coming with a smaller battery and more power draining 5G, how would that affect the battery life? Well, for me, battery life on my iPhone 12 has been really great. I've not got through a pretty long day and run out of juice. Quite often I leave work at around 6 PM and normally have at least 50% left, although obviously this can vary depending on my usage. GSM Arena quote a battery endurance of 84 hours on the iPhone 12, which is a whole 10 hours less than on the iPhone 11. I've not tested an iPhone 11, so unfortunately I can only go by what other people have reported, and that is generally saying that the iPhone 12 has worse battery life than the 11. The iPhone 12 even performs almost as well as the budget phones I've been using that have got massive 5000 mAh batteries, but again this is largely to do with how efficient iOS is and the efficient processor. iPhone 12 of course supports wireless charging and reintroduces MagSafe, which allows you to magnetically attach a wireless charger to your phone so you can still use it while charging, and then there's a few magnetic accessories that you can put on the back like a wallet and that sort of thing. So as far as using the iPhone 12 and my experience, well, iOS is iOS. It's smooth, responsive, with not a single lag in switching apps or playing games. That is of course with the help of the blazingly fast A14 Bionic chip that powers the entire iPhone 12 range, sorry. This 5nm processor has a 15% performance boost over last year's A13, which now is still ahead of so many other chips on the market. A14 is also around 30% more power efficient thanks to the 5nm fabrication over the 7nm of A13 Bionic. Playing games like Asphalt 9 are a breeze on top detail levels. No complaints here, the A14 copes with everything really well. So 6 months later, this phone unsurprisingly is still as snappy as it was when I first got it. I think a lot of iOS products are just as fast years later. I mean, my iPad Air 2, which is coming up to its 7th birthday, has only in the last 6 months or so started to lag and stutter, and that uses a 20nm A8X chip. So that in itself to me proves that iOS devices are built for internal durability with their chips. I can almost forgive the fact that there's no high refresh rate on the displays here because of how smooth the whole iOS experience is. I mean, controversial, I know, but then I stop and think, wait, this phone costs £800 and no high refresh rate? Not good. Let's just open it up a minute. There we go. So yeah, everything is so smooth. Apps open really quickly, and the swipe gesture thing is just flawless all the time. Apple have definitely pioneered this, so zero complaints from all of that. Colours of the iPhone 12 include black, white, red, green, and obviously the blue, which I have here. At launch there was a £100 price hike over last year's iPhone, but as you're getting an upgraded screen, upgraded cameras, 5G, I think, to be honest, this is worth paying for. It's just unfortunate that the battery life isn't as good as the iPhone 11 model, sorry. So I've spent a while going over stuff you've probably read about and heard over and over. So here's what I think of the iPhone 12 6 months later. Well, like I said before, it's like I've been using it on the first day. In true Apple fashion, nothing about the user experience has got worse. I can see this phone lasting for many more years to come, and with Apple's stellar reputation for software updates on older models, this will still be a good phone in 4 or 5 years' time. The camera experience is great. A typical point and shoot camera like the Google Pixel phones, just point at subject and the phone does the rest. The battery life, like I said, not as good as iPhone 11, but still very good for a full day's use. And as far as recommending this phone, absolutely I would. Over the iPhone 11, well, it's smaller and lighter, and the OLED is so much nicer than the LCD screen on the iPhone 11. And because they're using OLED on all the iPhone 12 range, they've been able to shrink the bezels, so they are now the same size as the Pro models, which is really nice. And to be honest, unless the iPhone 13 comes out with some amazing upgrades, I can't see why you shouldn't pick this phone over one of those. So that's my look at the iPhone 12 6 months later. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. And if you did like this video, a thumbs up would be great. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe.